Hello everybody, I'm Andy Phillips and this is Iron Concepts number 62. So I'm back. We had a great weekend at Troy, Ohio, and Jen and I this weekend had a chance to forge some at the local fair in Winston-Salem, and we're finally home after bouncing around for about a week, and we've got nothing to show for it except for a lot of really dirty clothes. But realistically, we've gotten to make some cool stuff over the last couple weeks, and we've gotten to hang out with Tom Willoughby and Paul Beisler. We've sat down and talked with Brian Brazil and just seen all kinds of cool stuff that people have been making. And for us, there's just so much stuff going on this time of year, and of course there's no lack of work to fill in all the blank spots in between. And I guess really it shouldn't catch me off guard. I mean, I'm okay at organizing my time, and workload sort of comes and goes. But I still find it amazing how that everything comes in these cycles, week to week, month to month, and year to year. Now, just looking at it off the top of my head, I'm not particularly great at picking out the year-long cycles. I keep the calendars from years past, and I think it's amazing the things that you can catch when you look back. And there's a lot of stuff that I pick up on just by looking at what was happening this week a year ago that I would have missed otherwise. And really, it's not about reading the tea leaves, it's about reading the data you already have. It's really no wonder that a company like Google can take all of the data that they have on hand and they can tell you that you're pregnant and depressed and thinking about taking up quilting long before you even know it yourself. But enough of my tangent. Back to the task at hand. How was SOFA? We had a wonderful time, and it was a wonderful meeting, but it's hard to believe that it can just keep growing. The crazy thing is, the last solid number that I heard for enrollment was nearly 1,500 people. And to look at all the big campers and rows of tailgating vendors, I can believe they were there. Outside of a couple of special instances, though, I never saw a huge crowd gathered at one time. And that's kind of interesting. The staff has done a masterful job of spreading out the crowd and preventing bottlenecks from happening. Under the tent, we never got swamped, but I felt like I had a constant flow of people. I was always talking to somebody, always working with somebody on something. A couple weeks ago, I had predicted that maybe swedge blocks or small gas forges would be a thing this year, just sort of making a stab in the dark. And I saw a lot of them around. I saw maybe 5 or more old NC tool forges, or they might have been Forgemaster forges, that were at least 10 or more years old out for sale. And swedge blocks were definitely a thing. It was really interesting to see so many come out, but maybe not the thing this year. Another person had pointed out that there were a lot of small anvils, and by that I mean in the 70-pound and below range, but anvils meant to be worked on that were pretty tiny, and that was sort of unique for this year as well. But really, to me, it just seemed like there was a lot of everything this year. Now, in the title of the video, I called it a bear market, and I think that might be a little bit of an over-dramatization of what was actually going on this year. Really, I would bet that the total amount of money that changed hands was a record high, but there definitely were a lot more people there selling things than there were buying things, and I really doubt that a lot of people, a lot of vendors especially, went home with what they wanted to make, but at the same time, I think everybody did pretty good. And I'm sure a few vendors had a pretty stellar year. Don't get me wrong, Blue did okay, and with the demand out there for power hammers, we actually have had a really wonderful show from this. But it's really amazing, some stuff sold like crazy and other stuff didn't move at all. But you never know what people are going to buy, and that's why as a vendor it's wonderful to be able to bring so many different things to the table. Now that I've had a week to think about it too, I think it really makes sense that the market would react by bringing so much product to bear because they see the same trends. They see the same things that I'm kind of working off of in my predictions, but they would bring so much product to bear with the anticipation of so many new faces arriving. And all in all, it wasn't really that dramatic. And any time that the supply outstrips demand, the market just adjusts. Overall, though, growth is always a good thing. And from my perspective, that's what I saw at SOFA this year. I saw a lot of expansion and a lot of growth. I saw a lot of new faces, and that's wonderful. But that's it for me this week. Now, if you came to SOFA this year, let me know what you thought. You can drop me an email. My email is in the description below, or leave a comment. But whatever you do, make sure to check back next week. So thank you, and until next time, bye.